And our spec here revolves around big headshots, big fucking kick in the face, putting up some vulnerabilities, using Murderer Crows, and then ricocheting around. So what we're going to do is pop a cooldown and go, boom, and then do 956,000 damage. Do you see how this works now? Do you get the idea? I think you do. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the power of the Gnome Hunter that has its weapon disappear between its legs and form a nice shiny penis of weaponry just below me. For some reason, I don't know, it's attached there permanently to my quiver. How good's that? How good is that? Yes, welcome back to Legion Alpha, where of course bugs are abound, and we are taking a look at the Marksman Hunter. I did say earlier in the week I wasn't really going to cover the Hunters, but Marksman is pretty much done from what I can tell, although it does have some quirks, and at the moment it's just producing absolutely crazy numbers, so I thought, why not capitalize on that, put on a good show for you guys so you can see some ridiculous things. What is the Marksman Hunter all about? You're probably going to notice I have a pet. Hello. That was odd. We're not supposed to have one of those. Yes, the pet is back for Marksman. You can indeed roll with a pet. You can indeed roll without a pet, if that's what you so desire. And the theme of this is a marksman who takes his time and then shoots you in the face for a shitload of damage. If you are the type of guy who likes a reasonably simple, not overly complicated, basic, fundamentally simple rotation, I'm trying to be kind there, but likes also enormous numbers, then Marksman's probably going to be for you. As somebody, if you, like myself, who doesn't really care for the numbers, in fact, in live, I have my numbers switched off, generally, then it won't appeal to you. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with enjoying large numbers. Not at all, not in the least. This is a big crit heavy, big giant numbers spec for everybody to enjoy, should that be your thing. That's the theme of it. So how do they achieve that? Well, in a variety of different ways. This actually plays very similarly, almost scarily similarly, to the Mists of Pandaria, Dragon Soul type period survival hunter, is how I would describe it. And we'll see a lot of elements of that coming in here. Some of you might disagree with that, but that's what I feel when I play this. I'm like, I've played this before, and it was a while ago, but I've definitely played this before. So how does this work? Well, lots has changed since the original idea of the Marksman Hunter, not just the pet return. They have really altered it up. In the strive, or the passion they've had to give the Hunter spec identity, something that was missing throughout Walls of Draenor, where all the specs felt essentially the same, they came up with all kinds of weird ideas for Marksman, particularly in terms of making marked shots. Like, you would seek out a vulnerability, you poke and prod until you spotted that vulnerability in the armor by using Arcane Shot, which was completely free. Generates 5 focus, in fact. And you were kind of looking and checking out your opponent so you could find a weak spot, and then boom, you were capitalizing on it by that exposing the vulnerability, then using that vulnerability with a mark shot, so you've like locked onto your target's particular weakness, then shooting a mark shot at it, and that had stacks involved with it. It was like up to 3, I believe, and it had all that going for it. Okay, so that's been very much simplified. I don't think a lot of people were getting the swing of it, as we're seeing throughout Legion with a number of specs where they've come up with an idea, but the community's just not taking well to it, so they're dragging it down to a much simpler idea. I'm not trying to cause a war here, okay? I'm not trying to cause a war. I'm just saying that is what's happening. People just weren't getting the hang of it. And perhaps you were one of those guys who maybe didn't get the hang of it before you go off on Blizzard's making the game too easy. So now we still have a similar system. This idea of the Marksman is, the basic idea of it is you will seek out with Arcane Shot a vulnerability. So if we attack a target and Arcane Shot it, you can see that my mark shot then lines up. And you see I've got the Hunter's Mark, and vulnerability is exposed. I then use a mark shot to exploit that weakness, okay? That's what you do. Very, very simple, very, very easy. That's what it's basically about. Now, on top of that, once that's done, you can also dump your focus with Aim Shot. Now, I will say this. There are a number of changes that have come out recently that have made Aim Shot far less good than probably what it should be. And in fact, in some cases, you just don't even bother casting it pretty much. So we'll get there in a second. Our artifact ability is Wind Burst, okay? An extra spell, costs 20 focus with a 20-second cooldown. You focus the power of wind through Thaz Dora, dealing 90,000 physical damage to your target and leaving behind a trail of wind for 5 seconds that increases the movement speed of allies by 50%. Obviously, the latter half of that tooltip is entirely useless in nearly every scenario. It's just an extra button that you press every 20 seconds that does a lot of damage. I'm sure that some people will be looking for ways to make this something useful. You can cast it on the move, which you might find interesting. You can absolutely do that. And in fact, you can get a lot of mobility out of this spec. You can absolutely do that. If you want to, you can keep going. So we seek vulnerabilities via arcane shot and multi-shot. I want to show you the very, very cool animation. You see the way I've marked that? Now watch my mark shot. You see the way it goes off to different targets? It doesn't matter how many targets there are, right? If you've got 20 targets and you fire multi-shot, it will mark them all. Okay, that's how it works. It just triggers the mark shot. So if you fire a multi-shot, doesn't matter how many targets you hit. If mark procs, it procs on everything. And then you fire a mark shot, you will then start spraying the fucking room. Animation-wise, the Marksman Hunter is fabulous. So look forward to the dungeon that comes at the end of this. So you seek out these vulnerabilities, you capitalize with mark shot, and you can... The general idea is you'll dump focus with aim shot. On top of that, we've then got our talents, which are going to make or break whether or not this spec is for you, honestly. So let's take a look. So, initially the first tier, we have the return of Lone Wolf, okay? Increases your damage by 35%, but you no longer have a pet. Now, I will say this. The pet has kind of been shoehorned back in. It has no synergy whatsoever with any... This talent tree is not designed with a pet in mind anywhere in any shape or form, okay? So, what they've given you is true aim. If you take Lone Wolf, you obviously just don't have a pet, but you get 35% flat damage bonus to everything. Very cool. A lot of math behind whether or not that's worth or not. You can take true aim, where each successive arcane shot, mark shot, or aim shot fired at the same target increases the damage those shots deal by up to 2%. And you also have steady focus, where using arcane shot or multi-shot 3 times in a row increases your focus regen by 20% for 10 seconds. You can probably already tell, if you're single targeting, true aim probably. If you're AoEing or doing anything else whatsoever, Lone Wolf, steady focus just has no business being here from what I can tell. Focus is just not a big deal because the math that has gone behind the design of the talents for Marksman is really, really clever. And what you'll see as we go through this is that extra focus regen doesn't amount to much whatsoever. They have designed this talent tree so you have exactly the right focus to meet the demands of the buttons you can press. Exactly the right focus. And for a lot of times, you can overcap your focus without actually being punished for that at all. It's not a big deal. So bear in mind those. Then we get Explosive Shot, which is fucking bollocks. I have no idea what this spell's supposed to be about. I can't see anybody using this effectively. Let's read what it does. It fires a slow-moving munition directly forward. Activating this ability a second time, then detonates the shot, dealing 76,000 fire damage dealt to all enemies within 8 yards based on proximity. So it's like an AoE bomb. But I've tried this a number of times. Sometimes it works just fine and it does a little bit of AoE damage. But frankly, it's just a pain in the ass. There's no doubt about it. See it? And then you detonate it when it gets near the target. If you get it wrong, it just does nothing. It's so weird. And then you compare it to what else is in the tree, that this spell just needs to fucking go. It's crazy. So then you can get Black Arrow. Now, obviously, it was designed with no pets in mind. So what if you take Lone Wolf? What do? Black Arrow is the answer. So Black Arrow is your single target ability. It fires a Black Arrow at the target, dealing 30,000 shadow damage over 8 seconds. Nothing too inspiring there. And summoning a skeletal minion that taunts for its duration. When you kill an enemy, the remaining cooldown of Black Arrow will reset. So they obviously wanted hunters to be able to level in the way that a hunter is used to, with the pet tanking and you just doing ranged DPS. Black Arrow was their solution to that. Ugh. Yeah, I know. Let's see if we get a good explosive shot. Whee! There you go. That's he celebrates, Doth the Wolf. He celebrates at my amazing explosive shot. You can already tell that doing like some busy situations, this is just a pain in the ass. If you've got stuff going on here, you can't even fucking see the thing. You'll have to kind of guess where it is. But then they come up with Trick Shot, which just shits all over explosive shot in all kinds of ways. Aim shot will now also ricochet and hit all vulnerable targets for 30% of normal damage. So vulnerable targets are, of course, things that are with are marked. Okay, so it'll seek out. So if you AoE everything, if you've got 20 mobs and they're all vulnerable, aim shot will just ricochet around them all and do loads of damage. And aim shot hits like a fucking truck. My God. So you can say what you like. Maybe this is a single target. Maybe this is the single target, although it's 30,000. It costs 40 focus. You know what I mean? I don't think either of these are worth using. And then you take Trick Shot like by de facto, because there's always generally something to cleave at some point, and Aim Shot hits really fucking hard. That's my take on it. These two could do with a little wiggle. I would like Black Arrow to be a legitimately proper dot. I think that would be nice if you could do something like that, because obviously the pet doesn't taunt anything. It just taunts and stands there for a few seconds, and it only lasts like 15 seconds, so it's not a big deal. Some movement down here at 45. Then we move on to Careful Aim. You'll know Careful Aim. You aim shot, arcane shot, mark shot, and multi-shot have a 20% increased critical strike chance on targets above 80% health. You all know about that. Height of vulnerability. Your next mark shot applies 3 stacks of vulnerable to all marked targets. Not bad. Patient Sniper, though, you gain the patience of a veteran sniper. It increases your maximum focus by 30 and causes Mark Shot to apply Deadeye instead of Vulnerable. Deadeye increases your Mark Shot and Aim Shot damage by 150% for 8 seconds. I am not entirely sure why you would never take this in comparison to the other two. I mean, it's a thing, right? It's a thing, but I'm just not sure why you would ever do this at all. It just makes no sense to me. I mean, you get this little mini bonus, sure, that's fine. But ultimately, is it worth it? No, not from what I could tell. Not from what I could tell at all. You see, you get the 75% damage buff and stuff there. But this is just so much more damage. So much more damage. It actually fits into a very good rotation. So it's one of those that maybe on AoE it's better. But personally, I found Patient Sniper in a mixed with Trick Shot to be better still. So that's something to bear in mind there. Of course, I've got to point out here, you might be thinking, why these talents might change, right, Peter? The likelihood is the numbers will change. The actual physical numbers we're doing. In order to make these more reasonable. Because using it ain't a bad idea, right? It's not a problem at all. But the fact is, at the minute, the numbers are a little out of whack. I'm just trying to teach you exactly what they do. So we got some CC here. You're more than likely going to take Wyvern Sting, at least for dungeons and stuff. Then you get your single target again. Now, Volley is back. Many people are excited about this. I've found no use for Volley yet. Yeah, it has the old school vanilla animation. A little bit of nostalgia there for you, sure. But yet, comparatively to Barrage and to Murder of Crows. Murder of Crows obviously single target, Barrage for AoE. I've not even come close to why I would take Volley. I just don't know. It costs 80 focus, really expensive. And frankly, it just doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. Does nothing in comparison to Barrage and Murder of Crows. You can kind of keep it on cooldown, but it takes all your focus. Look, you literally can't do anything else besides spam Arcane Shot in the meantime. So Volley could do with its focus reducing and its damage buffing, so it's more of a constant and continuous AoE like Rain of Fire or Blizzard, and then it might counter Barrage for permanent AoE because Barrage is obviously has a 20-second cooldown carried with it. Some slight changes to Volley would make it worthwhile. Murder of Crows you guys know, Barrage you know as well. So then we move on to level 100 and we get Sidewinders. Sidewinders are super cool. This replaces both Arcane Shot and Multi-Shot, okay? It only says Arcane Shot there, but if I click it, you'll see that both my things changed here to a 2-charge system. What this means is you have a reason to cast Aim Shot for one. A reason to cast Aim Shot. It guarantees that you will get marks every single time. And this puts you into a very, very, very steady rotation, which is going to be using Sidewinder, like this. You guarantee the mark it, yeah? But you can see it's got a charge system. So what you do is you just dump in the middle, especially with you've got Deadeye, with Aim Shot. Then you fire off your Sidewinders, mark it, and do that again. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the Marksman has an overly complex system of play. It doesn't. It looks very, very cool. It kind of reminds me of the original Demon Hunter in what they're trying to get with this. Is a relatively simple level of play, huge numbers to go along with it, and Sidewinders is indicative of that. If you take Sidewinders, you have a very, very solid rotation where you'll be, especially for AoE, this is obviously an AoE target, because you mark everything, you fire off a load of mark shots with it, and then you're like ricocheting aim shots all over, and it works perfectly that you get like 3 aim shots to dump all your focus just as Sidewinders come back off cooldown. This is what I'm saying with steady focus. Doesn't make sense if you take the proper setup, from what I can tell. Lock and Load. Now, Lock and Load is, again, if you take this, you have a reason to cast Aim Shot, but you will only cast it when it's free. If you take Lock and Load, what you play like is this. At this point, because what Lock and Load does, it gives you 2 free aim shots, a 10% chance, and it's ranged auto attacks. At this point, you can see it proc there, it gives you the old Lock and Load. At this point, you basically fish for Deadeye, fire off 2 instant cast aim shots, and then you just use Mark Shot, because you can see the style of numbers that I'm starting to put out here, yeah? Minimum 100k. I got this character to like 102. There is really no point in using Aim Shot like Hardcast at this point. You might be saying, well, your focus is capped though, Preacher. That can't be right. It is correct in the current style of gaming. It is correct. Believe me, I've tested the math. Mark Shot just hits harder. The chances of going too long without getting a lot of Mark Shots like this is pretty rare, honestly, when you're actually playing. It's not something you see all the time. And then you get the Mark Shots to go in. But as you can see, with my crit chance, remember, I'm low geared here. If your crit chance is even slightly higher than this, you will be getting a lot more of the Lock and Load procs to go along with it. Which I found when the gear scaling occurs. It happens pretty goddamn regularly, and I'll show you in the dungeon. The final ability, which I prefer over Lock and Load, I don't like that style of play, is Headshot. Headshot is cool. It's a big, hard-hitting ability. Even at really low-B gear, once you're around 110, you're going to see about 1.1 million crits with this thing. Yeah? 1.1 million crits. And that's a really nice way to open up a fight. Is to just do a misdirect and then drop a 1.1 million to 1.3 million I've seen when it goes really nice. Huge damage button. It costs as much focus as you have to scale it up. 20 to 100 focus. 30-second cooldown. Bish, bash, bosh. You can give yourself a load of extra focus, obviously with the talents we talked about earlier, like Patient Sniper, which means you don't need to have capped focus to use it. It's pretty cool. So what we're looking at here, essentially, guys, is two styles of play. If we're going, say, single target, the likelihood is we're going true aim. We're probably taking Black Arrow, although we're probably not going to cast it unless we're going to kill an ad real quick. Patient Sniper, we're going to take Murder of Crows, and we're going to probably take Headshot or Lock and Load. That's like your single target play, and this is basically how this works, okay? If you've got this, you're going to use your DPS cooldown, which is True Shot. Gives you a 40% increased critical strike chance. There's your boss. Pop True Shot. Go for a 450k opener. Get all your shit on cooldown, and then you're going to fish for mark shots. Just like this, okay? And this is generally how you're going to play to get everything started. And you're just fishing out, and you're looking. Obviously, I have the bonus crit to my auto shot at this point. So this is why you're seeing a lot of mark shots proc. You can squeeze in a Black Arrow, although for the focus cost, I mean, it doesn't. We're overcapping focus anyway. As I said, I don't see a reason right now, and with the other hunters I spoke to, they agree that there's really no reason at the moment to bother with aim shot, particularly if you take headshot, because this means that every 20 seconds you're going to want absolutely full focus anyway, right? And all you're going to do is watch your cooldowns on Windburst, watch your cooldowns on Headshot, watch your cooldowns on Murder of Crows, and try and fit that in there at some point, okay? That's generally the single target play style. If I pull my little pet back here, then we have another style of play, okay, which is going to be taking Sidewinders when I get my cooldowns back. So we'll take Barrage when I get my cooldown back. Come on, 2, 1, there we go. So we'll take Sidewinders, you're going to take Barrage, you're going to take Trick Shot, yeah? You're probably going to take Lone Wolf, because you just want all the big bonus damage, and then you're going to just play like this, okay? And now the way you play with this one, pretty easy. What you're going to do is use Sidewinders. That's going to guarantee that you proc marked. Then you're going to dump with Aim Shot. And you're going to use Windburst and Barrage in the meantime, yeah? And what you're going to notice is that you see the mark shot. See the way it spreads out like that? It's so cool. And you can see the Aim Shot ricocheting around, doing loads of cleave. And it all works really smoothly. There's no doubt about it. This spec works really smoothly. It absolutely does. So, there's not much else for me to show you. I'm doing this on my level 102 Hunter because the artifact weapon doesn't contain anything that will alter your gameplay particularly. Okay, nothing here that's going to alter your gameplay that's worth demonstrating here. I'm going to jump into a dungeon now, show it all off, and hopefully you can have a good time with that, alright? That is your Marksman Hunter how it plays right now. We'll revisit again, of course, if you don't want spoilers and you're leaving now. We will definitely revisit this towards the end of the Legion pre-stuff, the beta. Alright, guys? Thank you so much for listening. If you're leaving now, for the rest of us, let's go see some big fucking giant numbers, alright? Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're doing the Violet Hold. My god. We're going to be doing our Marksman Hunter presentation. We have, of course, our big dick quiver on demand right here. Hopefully we're going to have a good time. So, is he starting it? Yes. So, Violet Hold. What talent setup do we want for this? You know what? We're going to be very focused on one target for a reasonable amount of time. But I'm going to show you some AoE later on. So we're going to take a pretty single target focus spec here, so hopefully show you off some big numbers. We're scaled to 105 in here, not ideal. I wanted to show you 110, which is where we'll start seeing the 1 million plus type hits, which is what this spec is kind of about, honestly. So, Black Arrow, no, we'll take Trick Shot so we can actually use some aim shots and have them ricocheting around the place. That's always quite cool. Do I want Sidewinders? No, I probably want Headshot. Yeah. Let's test it out and we can do different things. That's probably the best idea. So, let's focus up our tank for our Mr. X. And our spec here revolves around big headshots, big fucking kick in the face, putting up some vulnerabilities, using Murder of Crows, and then ricocheting around. So, what we're going to do is pop a cooldown and go, boom, and then do 956,000 damage. Do you see how this works now? Do you get the idea? I think you do. Now, when it's pure single target like this, honestly, the best way of playing Marks, as you can see, the sheer amount of numbers this thing plays around with is just insane. I do want Sidewinders, though. I've already decided. I only want Sidewinders because it's going to be a guaranteed vulnerability mark on various ads. Although, this is a difficult one. This is difficult, exactly what is going to be the best setup here, because we want these big headshots like that on these main sides. Oh, I got aggro. Fucking, you have to deal with that here. Yeah, I don't know how this will play. I don't know if you've seen that, you know what, I'm going to be like a single target focus for the first few waves. I don't know if you've seen the new challenge mode / mythics. Oh, we marked everything, so now we can get some good ricochets on. So all I'm going to do is switch over to using multi-shot instead of arcane shot in order to get the ricochet effect going. So what we'll do is when you do that, you see it marked everything, and then my mark shot went to everything as well, which is cool. So I'm going to change... let's get some focus up for a headshot. Use our mark shots. We want to be able to headshot our next target. Remember, arcane shot is a regen, yeah? Arcane shot is a regen. And also, multi-shot generates based on how many targets it hits. So about 3 to 4 mobs, multi-shot is fine. Get a misdirect on. Target this one. Headshot. God, it's so much fucking damage! Holy shit, that was 600,000 non-crits. And when everything's vulnerable, you can see the vulnerable marks and everything. You can see how aim shot is now ricocheting around the place. Very cool. Ooh, let's exhilarate so we can get our health back. Don't really want to die. That would suck. So although aim shot does have a much lesser role to play, I think is the best way of saying it. It does have a much lesser role to play. It's actually fine. Despite the fact that this spec is about big numbers, and if you're not into the big... Oh, 806,000. Bye-bye. If you're not into giant numbers on a kind of regular basis, then Marksman's probably not for you. This spec is not complicated, really. You can play this with... I actually believe if we didn't have some AoE to do, you would be more than fine just to press Arcane Shot and Mark Shot. I actually believe in the current numbers that that is a DPS increase. To give you some context there. Just so you know what's happening here. Go on, spawn, baby. We've got a big headshot waiting for you. Pachoo! 403,000. Now, I'm going to be saying Pachoo. This spec makes you want to say Pachoo. I'm not joking. I wish I was joking. But every time you pull off these big giant hits, you can't help but say Pachoo! Pachoo! And just enjoy the fact that this is how it works. So when you get to this, you might be saying, Preacher, your focus is full, you big noob. Isn't that like a clutch nightmare? No, not anymore. It really isn't. The fact of the matter is, you can see how hard Mark Shot hits. I told you this earlier, but Mark Shot hits for 70,000 and Aim Shot does 56. The scaling is just way off. It's actually better given how frequently Mark Shot procs to actually kind of fish for them, and you're filling in with these arcane shots. These more than make up for the damage of not having Aim Shot in the rotation. And just getting those mark shots flying out for free and instant, and keeping a high focus for headshots. Pachoo! Pachoo! Ah, 330,000? Lame. Windburst. And off we go. Whether or not you like the theme of Marksman is going to be entirely down to you. I'm sure after at least a couple of minutes here, let's interrupt that, you will know whether or not this spec is for you or not. And that is just the be-all and end-all of it. It takes you about that long to work out whether Marksman is your jam or if it is not. So let's get a Windburst going. Look at that speed going to maximum use. Such a weird addition. Headshot. Pachoo! You are a beast right now. Now remember, the numbers you're seeing don't mean a whole lot. Let's start using some multi-shots to try and get some procs up. Mark everything. Love the animation on Mark Shot. Really do enjoy that. I think that is so cool. Ooh. Oh. Is that a boss? I don't think so, right? Interrupt that. Let's Windburst this thing down. And then headshot it. Get out of here. Down you go. Is that over a mil? Oh, we were close. 378,000 hit with a 538k overkill. Very close to the mill. Very close to the mill. Hitting that big mill style. Oh, now we got a boss. Okay. Oh, I just used my DPS cooldown, which is True Shot. A little early. Not exactly what I was hoping for there. Always want to use that with headshot, obviously, with this build. But here comes the big headshot. True Shot is still kind of on. Nah, lost it. What's our healer? What is he? Paladin. I kind of want to be close to him. Where is he? Little hunter. Wind burst. You can always cast on the move. I see a lot of people complaining about mobility and stuff with the marksman. I'm not seeing it. I think the intention of aim shot being a little bit on the weaker side is purely to provide, again, that mobility. We're not getting any big dick crits on the boss, which is a real bummer. So we'll switch over to a different spec after this, so I can show you sidewinders and stuff in action. And then we'll do some explosive shot stuff just so you can see it. Wind burst. But really, it's a spec. Press what's not on cooldown, and it'll be fine. Let's exhilarate. And it, Matt, headshot coming. You can't do that yet. Headshot. Pachoo! Oh, 478k? What is this? Wussy numbers. And down you go. Happy times. Boss down. Good stuff. Right then, let's switch over. We'll take sidewinders. So we've got some cooldowns to deal with here. Let's get our... No, we don't want our pet. Not for AoE. I will use the true aim just to show it you, but it's not really anything to show. We'll take barrage when I can. Hopefully we've got enough time here. Headshots back, so we'll get sidewinders. 12 seconds till we can take barrage. We've got trick shot already. So this is very much an aim shot cleave spec once you go into sidewinders. Because sidewinders regenerate so much focus. Yeah, they generate 60 focus. And the fact of the matter is, they line up so perfectly well. It's crazy. They line up so perfectly well that it's just obscene. So let's get off with a wind burst straight away. So you can see when you pop sidewinders, it guarantees the mark shot. And it does it to everything, and then you go for, like, pure cleave. So let's also fit in a barrage here. You can probably tell already why I just don't see why the fuck volley even exists. Like, was it a nostalgia thing? I don't know. They could do something cool with it. I would like to have some constant AoE. That would be nice, but... At the moment, it just doesn't seem... It seems so, like, out of the ordinary that it's just completely unnecessary. Save our barrage for the next pack. So with this spec, what am I doing? How do you play this one? Very simple. You can see that Sidewinders has a charge. It replaces both your arcane shot and your multi-shot, yeah? So all you do is use your main spells that are cooldowns, like Barrage and Wind Burst and whatever. And then you just Sidewinder, guarantees that Mark Shot will proc, press Mark Shot, and then spam Aim Shot until you want to press Sidewinders again, until the debuff has worn off, pretty much. That is about it, ladies and gents. Oh, can't cast Aim Shot on the move. The sadness is real. Like this. This is all it is. Like I say, you're not going to be sort of racking your head here. You're not going to be doing that. And that's okay. Not every spec needs to be like that. I know some people get really pissed off that certain specs are easier, but honestly, get over it. Not every spec is going to like this. Honestly, Hunter specs in general have been pretty simple for a while, let's be honest. And so those players, let's face facts, those players will be used to a certain style of play that probably doesn't involve being, like, super fucking hardcore, meticulous micromanagement. Could have interrupted that a bit earlier. My bad. We'll have to do his CC here, but it's only Wyvern Sting, essentially. Let's Wind Burst this down. Let's Exhilarate. Help our, You'll notice the selfie on the Hunter is fucking cool, man. It is really cool. Alright, they're coming from up there. Let's get a Misdirect on. I'm going to misdirect this guy. Well, I want to show you if I could do this. If I pop that... Oh, they're all kind of gathered up now. Which is a shame. I wanted to show you just how cool the animation is on Mark Shot. It will track anything that is marked, even if it's behind you. Oh, we got a man down. Healer. How did the healer die here? I'm so baffled as to how anyone dies if I hold, really. This place is so ridiculously easy. Oh, well. So we'll do this sort of wave like this. I mean, it's... I want to... This spec does... This playstyle has no pew-pew to it, which is okay. I mean, not every spec needs a pew-pew button, which Headshot is. Can't release, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. We've got a blood decay. You would have to, like, catastrophically play to die, I think. I don't think this stuff can even get through his health. I'll have to try and remember what portal we're up to. If we go single type for the boss or whatever. Marksman is kind of fun. For me, it's fun for about an hour, and then I want to turn it off. For other guys who, particularly, and I want to make this absolutely clear that I'm really not mocking anybody for this, is if you really struggle with raid mechanics and stuff, this is the spec for you, without question. To interrupt that. This is easily the spec for you, because you could avoid everything. You have super mobility all the fucking time. It's extremely simple. I mean, most of the time you just press a game shot like with this setup. Yeah, just noticing that. Barrage them down. Aggro. Mark shot. Isn't that mark shot cool? See that? Oh, he's played it a marksman as well. We got double marksmans in here, which means the DPS should be getting these mobs should be getting absolutely crushed right now. I'm sure the numbers are overtuned. Don't get me wrong. This is alpha, so don't. This is one of the bigger. Okay, this is a boss. So let's go headshot. Let's go murder crows. What am I missing? Nothing. I don't think. Big buff. Oh, it's not the boss. Oh, I was hoping it was going to be Abanu Basset. It's a cool fight. Never mind. Murderer crows up. Windburst it. And this is where you go lack of aim shot. So, can we say that the marksman has very limited playstyles? No, not all. It has various playstyles. It has a lot of playstyles, and I don't buy into the idea that marksman is like a one-trick monkey. It's really not. There are different playstyles. They often revolve really about how often you press aim shot. There's absolutely no doubt about that, but it has a variety of playstyles. It's pretty slow, which allows for these giant numbers. Yeah, there's a reason these giant numbers do exist. I used True Shot there, which I thought was going to be the boss, so I'm kind of sad now. Oh, face-to-face. Big callback to ICC here with this one. Windburst, go. Proc some mark shots, and that's it. This is your spec. Where are you going, tank? Educate me. I was kind of hoping to get the level 100 dungeons, but that's okay. I'll help on the ads when you don't tank up here. Can we go down? Yum! Eat that. Yummy. Eat the pool. Headshot. Pachoo! I should show you lock and load as well, I suspect. Just to give you an idea of how often it procs. Although my crit chance so far in this dungeon has been really weak sauce. Oh, it was able to finish congealing? Oh, no! No! Hunters are on it, don't worry. We got this. Be the first to proc mark shot, I guess. We'll kill it. Yeah, there we go. Ugh. Exhilaration. Headshot. One shot. Just in case you're curious as to whether or not you'll be doing this kind of stuff. If whether or not you'll be able to one-shot mobs. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I really hate that. If your mark shot target disappears, it should really go away from you being able to even press it. Which it does not. Headshot. It's still alive? No way. Marksmans are just wrecking this fucking boss completely. Let's get to the side of him. Don't want to near that bonnet. Not that it matters, but we'll just DPS the ads anyway, because we're a good player helping our fellow friends. Easy. See how useful they are? That burst is so fucking crazy for stuff like that. That will be your niche. You'll be like, you can go... So that's something you got to bear in mind as well. If you're a raider, you'll absolutely be the guys like, yeah, you should go deal with this situation, because you're just really good at it, and you'll be like, oh, okay. Let's take steady focus, just so we can have our pet out for a bit. I really wish they would fix the ability to swap buttons around. It's fucking so annoying. If I take swap from murder across the barrage, just change the fucking button, Blizz. Come on, man. This is basic shit at this point. It's just frustrating as crap that I need macros and stuff. I hope they will fix it. It's in every bug report I've submitted to Blizzard, is for them to do that. So with this spec, we'll get a lot more focus, means a lot more ricochets with trick shot. That's generally the idea here. Is just to be able to have a lot more aim shots going on. So as always, open up with that. Sidewinder. I don't get knocked back. I don't want to be anywhere near this weapon. God, its range is huge. No matter. Whew. gotta love that. I love the animation on Sidewinders as well. It's so fucking good. It's got the barrage going. See the mark shot seeking people out? How cool is that? It's very cool. Oh, I kind of need to check an explosive shot out for you guys. See if we can get some actual good uses out of it. That was actually awesome. You can't ask for a better position on that thing. You really can't. Interrupt failed disruption. Line of sight, bro. Thank you. Big fat numbers all day, every day. That's all it's about. Oh, Wolfie's dead. No, Wolfie! No! Fucking go away. Oh, I'm in combat. I don't even have res pet on my bar because I use it so rarely. This is kind of embarrassing, but kind of not really. Pets aren't really designed to be played here. Where is it? No. Pet utility. Revive pet. Come on. And Ricochet, for all it's worth. I wish I could show you. Let me see if I can get it close. I want to show you how aim shot ricochets, if I can. Not really. It's hard to show you, but it does. You can kind of see the blue trails around. It does literally ricochet around. It's a very awesome animation. They've done a stellar job with that. A really stellar job. Oh, good, you're dead. Get the fuck out of here, pet. You're so useless. So fucking useless. Right, let's take explosive shot. Okay. So, I'm going to miss so many of these. I just know it. Let's put our explosive shot in. So, with the explosive shot, of course, it's the travel. Ooh, that was poor. Aspects of the cheetah. Although I had post-haste. Rookie. You ready? Let's see if we can get a good one. Boo! Boom! I got disorientated as I pressed it. It's the saddest of times. The saddest of times. Oh, that's sad. That is sad. Really, that's upsetting me. I mean, skill shots are one thing, but God, when they don't work, oh, the sadness. I should not have Sidewinders with the spec either. Without Ricochet, it's really not worth. Right, here we go again. Boo! Yeah! Pew! You can't help it. So much of the Marksman Hunter is pew, 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 pew. That is just how it feels. They have designed it that way, honestly. So hopefully we get rid of explosive shot here. I think I hit it. I had one complete failure with it and then hit it once. So that's exactly what it is in a nutshell. We're going for a boss now anyway. Oh, we will be in a second. So let's go back to what we want. We could keep explosive shot for the boss, I guess. Let's go true aim. Let's get our pet back. I just want to make sure you guys see everything. Is generally my thoughts here. Pew! Headshot. Get away. Pew! How silly is it? Oh, please. You made me laugh, man. Do I have trick shot? No, I've got explosive shot. You do make me laugh. When it comes to AoE without Sidewinders and trick shot, your AoE basically comes down to multi-shotting, procking, mark shotting everything, then multi-shotting again. That's about it. So, so fucking goofy. Let me put this on my bar so we don't have that thing again. Where are we? Red pet. There we go. Good, good, good. Fucking stupid, isn't it? Beep! That's what it is. It is what it is. It's so goofy. It is a goofy, goofy spec. And there's no doubt about that. Now, we get a boss immediately after this. So I'm going to say true shot for the final boss. Misdirect on for the big headshot. Go, puppy. Windburst, go. Explosive shot. Boop. Boom! Hit! Contact! We nailed it. It should make some sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It should make some it should definitely make that sound effect. Like, pew! Give me a mark shot. Come on. Thank you. There we go. Get out of here. Headshot! Pew! Explosive shot! Nailed it. It has a bassy sound effect that goes with it, though, which is fine. Let's mend our pet while we're doing this. I mean, if it's got something going for it at least, right? Pew! What a ridiculous spec. Okay. I don't have a true shot yet, so we'll just kind of chill. I just want the crit on the... There we go, we've got true shot now. Headshot crit. Ah, oh, boo! 597k. Get away from me. Explosive shot. Pew! I wish it could lock into a target or something. Oh, yeah. This is annoying. Okay, so if you're not sure how this works, this is kind of irritating. You have to look at the spiders. Otherwise, they hurt you. What? Come on, pick a target. What are you attacking me for? What the fuck? Oh, is it because their target died? Oh, lame. Well, that sucks. Spiders ate me. Yeah, you see the webbing that targets you, and you just look at them and they stop attacking you. But it seems if one of their targets dies, they just come after you, which is kind of sad. Kind of sad. Oh well, at least we'll get to do some pew pew again, I suppose. A show that hold in all its glory. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Like the ghosts in Mario Brothers. Yeah, like boos. They're boo ghosts. Oh, is he gonna kill the boss? Oh, what? Oh, man. Well, I didn't get to show you the end of the Marksmanship. Bye. Come on. You know by now whether or not you like this. In conclusion, big, dumpy, silly numbers, big, dumpy, silly spells, but a variety of playstyles. Very, very simple to play. Super high mobility. You can't really go wrong with this. If you are a guy who struggles with environmental stuff in raids, this will make your life significantly easier. And along with that, you're going to get some cool animations. You're going to get some funky moments. Will it hold your interest once you, like, if you play in an environment where it's easier to get used to raid mechanics, so therefore you get better at that, will it hold your interest? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's from my perspective. I think if I played this for more than a few hours, which I have... Unfortunately, I mean, this is like 104 now, I think. It's difficult. I had to space out my playtime with this because it was a little bit on the tedious side. But that's me. It's entirely down to you. If you just want big fat numbers, you want a relatively easy life, you want to be able to contribute to your raid by being able to burst targets down pretty reasonably and without much difficulty, this might be for you. All right, this might be for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marksmanship Hunter. Enjoy. Bye-bye.